Committee meeting. Today is September 13th, and this is the first Transportation Committee meeting of the 2022-2023 session. So I'd like to start with everyone that's on the line, just briefly saying their name, quick introduction. And I'll start. My name is Dion Kwamina. I am the chairperson for the Transportation Committee.
Frederick Watson.
Gail Grandison, Education and Youth Committee Chair.
George State, committee member, board member.
All right. As we move our way through the agenda, I'll have the chairperson's report. Welcome Transportation Committee members. I hope you all had a good break and enjoyed your summer. My name is Dion Kwamina, and I have been appointed the Transportation Committee chairperson this session. I want to thank the chairman of the board, for entrusting me with this responsibility. It's an honor and pleasure to be back in this role, and I look forward to hearing and addressing the needs of our community, new and old, so we can move our community forward. I would like to recognize Ms. Lyons, who is a staff member assigned to help us with our meetings. I'm happy to have you on board, and I look forward to working diligently with you. I plan on ramping up the engagement from the community and the board in general with this committee. My goal is to have 15 consistent members. This session is also my aim to have an agency presenting and engaging with us at every meeting and to get real responses and actions towards issues that's been going on for some time now. I'm looking to the committee members to be active in identifying and bringing to the floor new ideas and events we can bring to the community. Just want to thank you all for being here, and let's move through the agenda, which I'm going to, Eleanor, can you please share the agenda, Ms. Lyons? I think the next item is roll call.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Also like to, I see our chairman of the board has joined us, Mr. Roderick Daly. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for accepting the responsibility of chairing the Transportation Committee this year. I look forward very much to working with you. There are a number of concerns within our community as it relates to transportation, so I think that having a strong person leading in that charge is a great thing, and so that honor is bestowed upon you, our second vice chair and chair of transportation. So thank you again, and everyone, please welcome. Please note, our general board meeting is every third Wednesday, and we have other committees that you can participate in as well. If you like to know what other committees are out there when they meet, please make sure you drop a note in the chat for our staff member, Ms. Lyons, to get to you and get you an application so that you can see that. And also being at the board, you get to understand and see all the different issues that are affecting us throughout the course of the year. And again, I thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me that brief moment to say hello to the community.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Daly. And what we'll do is, because like I said, my goal is for us to have 15 consistent members, and I was hoping we would have a few more members on the call tonight. So I'd like to use tonight to establish what quorum will be moving forward. And at this time, it looks like we have, what happened? I can't see everybody now. Okay, great. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess we'll use 5 as quorum for the time being. We do have some things that are coming before us tonight that we'll have to vote upon.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, Ms. Lyons, can you tell us how many people are on the committee who are registered? How many people you sent notice out to, how many people actually registered to be part of the committee before? Because we just can't arbitrarily choose a number to um to have quorum. So maybe if we look at the list and we could go over it together, since I was the previous chair of transportation, and see who has not been to a meeting, and we can maybe move to remove some of those individuals so that we can actually move towards quorum. But we can't arbitrarily say, well, it's 5, and then there's supposed to be 9 members, and then we have quorum.
Transportation is 15 members.
Could you review that list? Well, first of all, is everyone on the call right now a committee member?
Yes.
Yes, I believe.
Okay, can we review the list?
Mr. Daly, you're still a member, so yes.
Whether or not yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, can we review the list so that he can remove some of those names? I can assist with that so that we can move forward in terms of he has an agenda, and one of the things is we can't move the community forward if we don't have quorum. So I'm just saying, can we go over that list real briefly?
Hold on, let me see. I got
While we're doing that, Mr. Clemina, is Ms. Welch on the call?
No, she isn't.
All right, so let me email her because she normally does not get the link. And so I'm going to email her
Okay.
right now.
Mr. Tate, you have your hand up?
Yes, my question is, like Mr. Chair and both chairs, you're talking about removing people from the list, but can we do that tonight without sending them prior notice?
So I understand that concern, but we have sent out notices throughout the course of the year. That's why I'm looking at people who are there previously who were identified as non-attendees, not people who just signed up for the committee. I'm looking at previous attendees who have not shown up to a meeting over the course of the year that are still on the list, not the ones who signed up between June and today.
Yeah,
But
but I have.
a lot of individuals received notification in the past to say that your attendance is vital to quorum at the community board, at the committee level. And if you do not show up, your name will be removed from the list. Whether it was sent as an individual or not, I know that Ms. Lyons, myself, have reached out to individuals regarding their attendance and the need for their attendance at the meetings. So that was done last year.
Mr. Chair, I'm not talking, with all due respect, I'm not talking about the people who don't show up at the meeting, but I could see there's quite a number of people that I normally see in these meetings that are not here today.
And but that's what I'm saying.
Let me finish. So I don't know what the criteria for you were going to use to remove people, but I just wanted to keep in mind is see a few people that I don't see here tonight that normally come to the meetings,
Right, and I agree with you, Mr. Tate. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying we're looking at the names of individuals who have not come, not those who have come, and because they're not here tonight.
In a row the last session.
Right. We're not looking at people who come to the meeting and they're not here tonight. We're looking at people who don't come to the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Lyons, while you're doing that, can you forward the meeting link? Oh, here it is. I found it. Here we go. Forward. I got it.
with Mr. Kwame, you have 16 members, right?
16, okay.
Yes. There's only a few that I have like numbers and addresses for, because when we were first, being that we were working from home, when it was sent to us, we were only sent emails. So I can tell you the persons that come on a regular basis, and I guess you can go from there what you choose to do. I don't know how it can be done tonight. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't think we can do it on the line at this exact moment. I'd like to now that we have 16, we can't really establish quorum, but that means we can't move anything forward tonight. Um, only thing I could think that could be possible if Mr. Daly, if you can look at that list, and if you know any names that can be taken off, like I said, people that have been missing meetings per the last session, to see if we can maybe get closer to a quorum or see what our number is at this point.
All right. So, I mean, that's what I was asking, to go over the names.
Yeah, if you can you share that to the screen, Miss Lyon, please?
Uh, let me see.
One thing I did neglect to mention, I'll be attending on just the date, I think September 16th, DOT Academy. Tell you exactly what it is.
I don't know. It's not letting me put it up.
Can you, I mean, just for expedience, can we just call them out?
There it goes. So A. Bennett is Mrs. Bennett.
Adele Bennett. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Watson is present. Mrs. Grandison is present. Mrs. Bacardine is not present. Ms. Highland is not present. I don't know who Myra YTZ.
She has not been to a meeting since December.
Ruby R2. I don't know who that is.
Ruby Harrisink. She's a member.
Santa Gale.
Who?
Santa Gale 1224.
Okay, so that person has not shown to a meeting, but they had signed up, but they'd never showed to a meeting.
Sulu Leon has to be excused this evening.
Right, she's a
An
member.
email. She sent an email. T Buffalo is present. Tria Muriel, I don't know who that is.
What's the name?
Treasurer is Tria Muriel.
She has not.
And then we have Miss Kwashi, Vanessa Kwashi.
Is that a new sign up?
No, Miss Kwashi is a current member. She's been on for a while.
Who's the person?
Vanessa Kwashi.
Yes, she's a member, but she hasn't been to a few
Three
meetings.
names that can come on.
Yeah, the two names that I mentioned before, Myra, who has not been to a meeting since December, and the other name that she mentioned.
I think it's three.
What are you talking about? The Ruby R2?
No, not Ruby Harrisink. No.
What about Santa Gale?
Santa Gale?
Hold on. Let me. Santa Gale, yes, she can be removed. I don't know who T Buffalo is.
I believe
That person is present. They're on the meeting.
Okay. Who is T Buffalo?
They're on this meeting now.
I understand. I'm just asking.
Gina Buffalo.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tate is here. Um, Vanessa,
Sonia Muriel.
I don't know who that is.
Mhm.
I've not seen that person.
But that's not someone a new sign up, Ms. Lyons, the Muriel.
That is a new sign up.
Okay, yeah, we'll let that one be for now.
Lisa Highland has not shown up to a meeting. I see her name on it, so she's removed, can be removed. You're scrolling too fast.
I'm
You
not
have my-
moving it. It's
You
the-
have my name. You have me twice.
Right, because you were on here with your regular email and then you have both your regular emails.
Right, but I'm right. So what I'm asking in this,
I didn't count you. You're not counted as
No.
twice.
No. I'm saying you said 16. I don't know if you were going by the names that were there on the email. That's what-
No. I counted them.
Okay. Scroll back up to the top, please. Slower. All the way up to the top. All the way start at the top. Adele Bennett is a regular member. Albert Pierre, he did sign up. He has not been to the meeting in the last 5 or 6 months. Mr. Watson is here. Ms. Grandison is here. Joan Backwardin, the last meeting she came to, I believe, was in January.
So hold on, go back up to the guy, to the person before Frederick. You said they signed up last session and never showed
No,
up. Albert?
Frederick Watson is on the call.
No, Albert.
Albert signed up. He has not been to a meeting since approximately November, December.
Okay, so you can come on.
Right? The same thing with Joan. She hasn't been to the last 5 meetings.
Dr. Dean can come on.
Lisa Highland has not been to any meeting all year. All of last year.
Okay, she can come on too.
All right, can you scroll down to the next page, Miss Lyons?
And can you
Last thing I
pull
see.
actually take them off at while we're going through this, please?
I'll try, but I'm not sure if I can do that with this because I copied and pasted from the email. So
Okay, too fast. You went up too far. Okay, so Myra has not been to a meeting. She came to 2 meetings and did not come back. But she was excused a couple of times from the meeting. She has not been to a meeting since approximately February. I would just have to look over the minutes. Then you have my name twice, which we went over. Ruby Hyacinth. Oh, let me send her an email because she doesn't always get her messages according to what she told me. So let me send her a message now too. As a matter of fact, let me send her a text message.
I'm writing down who's to be removed.
Okay, thank you. And Santa Gail, you said nope, never shown up.
I don't know if she's a new person or not, but I've never seen her.
Scroll down, please, Ms. Lyons.
All right. I don't know. What's the next name? Sulu is excused. T Buffalo is on the call. Muriel, I don't know who that person is. I think according to you said she was new.
Ms. Lyons said that's a new sign up.
Right. Treasurer Tate is Mr. Tate, who's on the call. And keep going after description, add description. Okay, I
No
don't
more
see
after that.
Okay, that's all.
You have Miss Quashi.
Yes, Miss Quashi has been to the meetings, but she has not been in a while. But she does come. You don't have Miss Welch there, who's a member of the committee.
May I chime
Just
in?
Yes.
Isn't
Sorry.
Ms. Gallimore a part of the committee? I
She
don't
has
see her
not.
name
She did
here,
not.
but
No,
She did not come.
I didn't. She wasn't on the list.
She was not. She has been either. She has not been to a meeting.
So what does that bring us to now, Ms. Lyons?
If you remove the 5 you just mentioned, that brings you to. It was 17 with you. That brings you to 12.
You said it was 15.
When I opened it up, I realized it was 16 members plus Mr. Kwame. That makes 17.
Gotcha. Okay. So we still don't have quorum. We need 2 more. I send a message to Miss Harrison, and I send it to Miss Welch, but they're not on that list anyway. So, well, Ruby is.
Okay. Well, without a pause, let's just move through the agenda. Can you do the roll call, please, Ms. Lyons?
Well, the roll call is everyone introduce themselves. I write down the members, and that's how the roll call is done.
Yeah.
We don't do the full, we don't call every member out. We just allow each member that's present to, speak and state who they are and their organization.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes. Can't approve anything, can't vote on anything. We don't have quorum, but we can look over those minutes because I'm not sure if
I was not working when these meetings were taken, so I'm just catching up now.
Okay, okay.
I was out for surgery,
Gotcha.
so I'm catching up little by little.
Okay.
And I would like to mention I have another surgery Thursday. I don't know how long I'll be out. I'm waiting to hear from my doctor, but I will keep you posted.
Okay, okay. I hope everything goes well and you have a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on, we do not have anyone presenting tonight. So we'll move on to unfinished business. Does any committee member have anything they would like to address? I know there were some things that we have left over from last session that we can start, start with the oldest stuff, things that we know have been plaguing the community for a while that we've been waiting to be addressed or that we haven't even gotten any type of agency response. I want to put a priority on those because it's just time is moving on and on and on. And I think as more time moves on, the less pressure we put on it, it's a less chance the agencies or anybody's going to try to deal with it because they don't see they're not getting any heat from us. We're not staying on them. So does anybody have anything that they think that we should put a high priority pin in as we're starting this session? Mr. Daly.
So I've gotten a few calls regarding speed bumps, right? Or speed bumps or speed humps that we have had. I'm wondering if we can get somebody from DOT, and maybe when you go to that meeting on Friday, right? When you go to that meeting on Friday morning, you could bring that question up at that meeting regarding how do people expeditiously get speed humps or speed bumps on their blocks, and not cameras, but speed bumps and speed humps, because that's what they're talking about. I know the city wants to put more cameras down while people are asking for speed bumps and speed humps.
Excuse me, I hate
And
to
then
interrupt, but I'm on the phone with the business owner, and he said he's trying to get in, but it has him on hold, and I don't know how the call-in works.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the call-in works.
Generally, you just dial and press the button and just call, and it connects you.
Yeah, I know we already told him to come tonight, but since we don't have quorum, and won't be able to vote anything, if you want to just tell him that we have to put him off till next month because he's going to have to show back up next month again. So instead of having him come and try to sit online since he's already having issues.
And also the second thing is the bus lanes, to revisit the time of the bus lanes. So if we could have somebody do it who directly can affect change, I think that's something that would be good to schedule and put on the communication website to the communication team.
You
So
said
those two
times for the bus lanes?
Yeah, instead of from 7 to 7, for what they really were meant to be, which is to be used during peak hours, not all day. So 7 to 10 in the morning and 4 to 7 in the evening.
Gotcha. Anybody else have anything else that they like to bring? Oh, sorry, two hands up. Ms. Grandison.
Yes, I just wanted to find out. I know last last year, the last board term, Mr. Daly, there was um the whole thing about they were doing new sidewalks or something like that, and either widening.
Oh, you went through- Yes,
Huh?
I went through. They never came back. That was December, prior to that was prior to Mayor Adams taking office.
Yes.
Right, and they never came back. They never came back. We asked about it, and it was on hold, so it never came back in the
Okay.
cycle.
And do we know what is happening with, I think this is about 2 years now, with the whole Utica corridor, getting the train to that whole thing that they were doing? They did surveys on and some studies of getting a train line going down Utica into Marine Park. Do we know what's happening with that?
So, do you want me to answer that, Mr. Chair? I can answer that for you.
Yes, please.
All right. So when Mr. Englesby came, we had a series of questions that we wanted to ask him. And Mr. Chair, you can if you remember, just send me an email, and I will forward you those series of questions that we had. Now they said that's something they don't have an answer to, and it's not in the immediate works to get that done. So at this present moment, they're not going to be working on the train line, but it's in their conversations at the DOT level.
Okay, thank you.
But it's still a movement to move down Utica Avenue corridor all the way down to Kings Plaza, and they were looking at what it would mean for rezoning the commercial area and all those the taxes, and so there's some complaints on that level.
Thank you, Ms. Grandison. Mr. Tate.
Yes, I have a couple of things. One is a question. It's regarding, is there an update on the bike lane that they were supposed to be talking about on the Clarendon Road? I was wondering if there's any update on that, because I haven't heard anything, yes or no, regarding that. So I was wondering where do we stand on that? And then I have another comment after that.
So since Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I'm going to answer that since I was also the last chair. So now you have, these are things that could be worked on and looked into. So when we met with the DOT again on that, was also a Mayor de Blasio initiative, and that was we had basically shut it down at the board level because the constituents said that they didn't want it. It's not within the district, along with Assemblywoman Rodney's Bachat that was also there at the meeting. We were supposed to meet and organize around it. They never followed up with it. So there is no new initiative. Anything now coming out, Chairperson Kwamina, comes out of it would be new. So there is no update, no initiative on the school extension at Winthrop for 268 that we're going to extend over, none on the train, and none on the bike lanes.
Okay. Thank you for that update. My other thing is my pet peeve is the trucks in the community going rampers all around, the ignoring the no truck signs, and then some of the signs that were taken down or missing, and they were supposed to be replaced from, I forgot it was maybe 2 years ago that someone from DOT came and we gave them all the information. And up now, nothing is done, except that what's happening is that it's even worse now because the trucks are speeding down. It's in the Farragut area, especially down Farragut, and in between, like let's say between East 45th to East 45th to East 42nd Street, they're using from Glenwood all the way to Clarendon Road. They're using those cross streets as a regular truck route, which is specifically saying no trucks allowed except for delivery, where there is a sign. The missing signs have not been replaced, so and it's really damaging our area, our homes. Got that all these most of these houses are sitting on well. This is a well area, so that's why a lot of the houses don't have basement. And when they shake the ground like that, it's interfere with the electrical system and everything else. So that's something that need to be revisited because I see they're giving out tickets and they're booting cars and everything and talking about speed cameras for the car, but I don't see them doing anything about the trucks.
Gotcha. Do
Okay,
you,
so
by chance, have those locations, a list of the locations still?
yes, yes, I mentioned from. You mean where the missing signs?
Yeah, where the signs came down and weren't replaced.
Yeah, yeah, East 43rd and Farragut, Troy Avenue, and Foster Avenue, Connor Foster Avenue. Uh, and there was one. What's the other one? But definitely these two that have. But all those streets from 42nd through 45th Street, all of them should have no trucks because these are residential area. The other side, the south side of Farragut is industrial area. That's fine. But the north side of Farragut is not. It's residential and no trucks are supposed to be allowed,
And that
except
first
for livery.
East 43rd and what again?
Either go East 43rd and Farragut.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other missing sign that came down was, that I remember, was Troy Avenue at corner of Foster.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that Miss Welch had some along Linden Boulevard. Unfortunately, she's not here today, but she has some complaints regarding that too.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
You're welcome.
All right. Is your hand back up or just not put it down yet, Ms. Grandson?
Sorry, I didn't put it down.
Okay, no problem. All right, so we're gonna move on to new business, and I'll just touch lightly on that. We had an applicant.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Carmina.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Frazier said if a business is scheduled, whether you have a quorum or not, you're supposed to allow them to present their business. And then when you don't have a quorum, you could refer them to the full board.
Okay, gotcha. Are they still ready to join?
Yeah, he's trying to get in now. He had the wrong access code.
Gotcha.
Okay.
This is Leslie.
Yes, I'm here now.
He's on now.
Hey, good evening. How are you? Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Thank you.
Yes, good evening. How are you, sir?
Yes, good afternoon. Good evening. I'm good. I'm well, thank you.
Good to hear. Thank you for joining us. You're representing United Car Express and Limo Services.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yes, and you're here tonight requesting a letter of no objections. Can you please tell the board a little bit about your business and what it is that you are looking to do and why you need this letter of no objection?
Yes, I operate a car service, and that's to include Rainbow Car Service. So United is one of the company that I operate, located here at 1304 Utica, which we carry passengers from point A to point B as a community taxi service. We have been doing this for many years, and we're just expanding to host another name, United Express, which already is located at this address.
I just said you've already been running it, but now you're looking to take over ownership.
Yes, it's already present here.
Mm.
I was not the owner, so I'm looking to take over owner. I was just managing it for the past 4 years.
Gotcha. And how long has Rainbow, your current location, been open?
I was in Crown Heights for several years, and 7 years ago we moved to 1304 Utica Avenue, which we have been, running our day-to-day operation here in this community.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to let the board know? And so you need this letter from the community board to be able to make this purchase while you're here, basically?
Yes, I am in the process of renewing the license and take over as operation manager, also from the previous. Yes, go ahead.
From previous owner. So, do you plan on? Is this going to stay United Car, or is this going to be another Rainbow location?
It's gonna stay United Car.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay. If you don't have anything else that you would like, I'm going to open the floor to the committee members to ask any questions you would like to ask of this business owner.
Right. I would just like the community to know it's similar to Rainbow Car Service. It's just an added company to what we already here doing in the community.
Okay, thank you. I see Ms. Bennett's hand. Good evening, Ms. Bennett.
Good evening. My question is, for him to clarify, he's buying this United Express? Is it going to be directly part of Rainbow, or under Rainbow and under him?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you clearly. Is there any way you could repeat for me, please?
Can you hear me better now? I'd like to know, is this Express going to be directly under you, since you say you're purchasing it?
Yes, I'm purchasing it from the previous owner.
And then you said something about you're in process of renewing which one, Rainbow or Express?
It's going to operate under the name United, and Rainbow going to...
You said you're in process of renewing something. Which one?
Yes, the license also, it expires and need to renew as well. The company already here at this location.
So Express expires on the license. Okay. When does it expire?
It expires at 7/31.
So
it's already expired.
Yes.
It's already expired.
And how many vehicles are we talking about? Additional.
Pardon me?
How many vehicles for Express?
10 vehicles for now. 10.
10 vehicles, 10 separate drivers.
Yes, that's 10. It's at the minimum requirement for the Taxi and Limousine Commission.
And did they pass the TLC exams, all requirements?
It was at the TLC requirement, but since the license has expired, I have to resubmit the document. So we will be resubmitting the 10 vehicles to get it up and running again.
Okay. And they have a good history, these drivers?
If I have one?
Well, the new drivers, the 10 drivers, additional drivers, have a good history, a proven history.
Yes, they're all experienced drivers that already work for United Express, and they also work for Rainbow Radio Dispatch.
Okay. So they kind of go back and forth.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bennett. Let's see, Mr. Tate's hand is raised. Mr. Tate?
Yes, good evening, sir. Part of my question I think was already answered, but basically I just want to be clear. This saying you are renewing the license for United, but you already have the license for Rainbow, so they will be operating under two separate licenses. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it does operate as two separate licenses. Yes.
Okay, and both of them will be under your name, basically, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
you'll be handling both entities, but under two separate licenses.
Yes, on the two separate licenses. Yes, I will be handling both of them.
Okay, so if someone call your dispatch looking for a car service, how does that work? You know, like do they call? Is this a separate number for United versus another number for Rainbow, or it's just one centralized number and you select from which company you will dispatch a car?
Yeah, it's two separate telephone numbers. Each company has two separate phone numbers.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That was my question. You answered my question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. See Mr. Daly's hand is up. Mr. Daly?
I also have a couple of questions. I'm not sure I did receive a phone call in the middle. Hopefully, I'm not going to repeat a question. Question number one, in terms of incidents, have there been any incidents at this location?
No incidents since we are here. Incidents such as
Violations from the TLC, misconduct from the drivers, those kind of
no. So far, no.
Okay. My next question has to do with you're talking about the cars, right? So you're going to have 10 cars. You're not an independent contractor for these cars. Where are these cars going to be stored?
The drivers, some of them own their own vehicle, and some of them are rented from companies who rent vehicles. However, most of the drivers keep the vehicle 24/7. They don't drop them off at any time, and they normally keep the vehicle with them. And they also use the vehicle for their personal use as well.
Okay, so you are basically only going to be a dispatcher for these cars.
Yes.
Okay. When you look at what about handicap accessible for the cars? Are they handicap accessible? Are a situation where they meet the minimum criteria? Tell us a little bit more about reaching one of our vulnerable population.
Yes, in the 10 vehicle, 2 of them is wheelchair accessible vehicle. So we fully service anyone who happens to be in a wheelchair. We are capable.
Okay. And so is it going to be an app or going to call? How did they reach you?
We have they could call by telephone, or they could download the app. We have an app called Lemosys, so they could download the app and just book their trip, or they could call the phone number that is on the business card.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daly. See, somebody put something in the chat. Let me see. Bennett, how many hours are they working? Drivers TLC history.
The drivers only allowed to work 12 hours. However, the base, which is what we are working on, the base open 24 hours.
Got it. Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Looks like nobody else has any questions or comments. So tonight we will not be able to vote on your letter of no objection. We'll have to forward this or recommend this to our general board meeting. We would like to invite you to our general board meeting for it to be voted on by the general board, and so you can receive the letter of no objection there. We'll have Ms. Lyons send you all the information. You can join by phone again, and that way we can move it forward.
Okay, sounds good.
The general board meeting, which is next week, Wednesday, I believe that it's a meeting in person, which is that downstairs.
There'll be no call-in option.
According to the borough office, which we're also going to pass a resolution, it has to be extenuating excuses as to why the board members cannot show up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and assume that if somebody's conducting business at a public hearing, they need to be there for a public hearing as well, the board to address them. I'm going to make that leap of understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, well, there you go. So, Mr. Will, like I said, that's next Wednesday. We'll have Ms. Lyons send you the information so you can come and present to the full board.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. There's no more new business. We will, Ms. Bennett, I see your hand is up. Ms. Bennett. Do you have something to say, Ms. Bennett? Okay. Moving forward, somebody say something?
No, sorry, I was just telling Adele that she's on mute if she's trying to say something, because she's muted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, guess not. We'll move forward. So the next item on the agenda is the adjournment. I'll entertain someone motion to adjourn.
I do have that motion to adjourn.
Someone say.
Tuesday, second.
Before we adjourn,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm sorry. Mr. Kwamina, Chair
Yes, sir.
Kwamina, I'm wondering if is there like someone that you would like to work on for next meeting? There are a couple of issues with the trucks with Mr. Tate did bring up last year. We did bring this. I don't remember what's that lady's name, Miss Bennett, that came, the transit lady.
That's
She was very quick and abrupt
Yeah, indirect.
Well, she was also very quick, so we weren't able to ask a lot of the questions,
Mm-hmm.
right? Remember, she had a hard cutoff at 8.
Yes, but she stayed a little bit longer. But yeah, she's very, very good because she can also summon up the tow pound and she can summon up what they call the Nighthawks.
The
And
what?
they call them Nighthawks, the agents that work at night to come and do these trucks. From 9 to 5, trucks are not allowed to park at residential streets.
Right. So I'm just wondering, um, if we could invite her to a meeting or invite somebody similar to her to a meeting, but asking them to make sure that they know that the duration of the meeting is until 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to, she was very it's 8 o'clock cutoff, boom. And Miss Martinez has the same issue with the trucks.
Yeah.
I have another constituents who really want the city to go back. A couple of constituents who want the city to go back to, instead of having 4-day-a-week parking, right? They want to. That it was working before, and in inequities in the neighborhood. Somebody who could answer those questions.
The one day. And most of the communities are 2 days. But
Right.
they brought it back. It's the commissioner herself that brought that back.
Right. So ways to address that concern, because those are some issues that came up over the summer, and some of them that are lingering in the community. One specifically is the bus conversation. That's a very specific.
You mean with the buses?
Yeah, the issues. Yeah, with the buses. Yeah, not the buses. I'm sorry, not the buses. The trucks.
Oh, okay. Well, that deals with traffic also, deals with truck enforcement, because I know they exist. And she did mention that. Supervisor Beckford did mention it.
Right.
You can see they moved her, up to Manhattan, but she can still come on. You just have to ask for her. Because she says she loves working with us.
Right, but I'm wondering if you can get somebody a bit higher.
Higher than that when she got promoted.
I'm sorry, say it again.
The lady, her name is called, she's citywide zone commander, that's her title, and her name is Tellersford.
Okay, so maybe that's somebody we need to look into, see if we can get invited.
She controls everything too.
Pardon me?
She controls everything also. Really? See if you can get her. Her name is Tellersford.
Okay, I mean that we could make that suggestion to the chair.
Yeah. No, that's the chair. The chair listening? Oh, really, chair, aren't you? Really?
No, the chair of the committee, Mr.
Well, I'm quite sure he's hearing me, but yeah, you have to, they said you can contact Ms. Fraser. Ms. Fraser can contact the division and have that set up with Ms. Tellersford. She said I met her, she's very nice, she says she loves working with people in the community boards, because I told her about you guys. And I said, now that Becky got promoted, I said, Ms. Tellersford, we're going to need you. And she said, what? I said, the community board. She said, oh, she loves working with us. She loves working with any community board.
Then I would suggest to make the suggestion, Ms. Bennett to the position chair, and then.
Can you hear me, Mr. Campbell?
Yes, say it again. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if you get a chance, talk to Ms. Fraser, see if we can get, her title is Citywide Zone Commander, Tellersford.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But because Becca got promoted. But actually, Becca can do it too. She got promoted from the position she was in a little bit higher. Either one will do.
And I think also, Mr. Kwamina, what we could do is maybe send out to the committee a series of questions that they can have answers to, prepare so they could prepare and give us concrete answers instead of just speaking up with us.
Gotcha.
We did that with the DOT, and it was a little bit was very well received.
Gotcha.
Rudy, do you remember an officer named Warby? Who's in 67?
Officer named whom?
A captain named Warby.
Not off the top of my head, though.
A Captain Warby.
No, I don't.
You don't remember? Okay. He was, I think he was in there after, or just before the Lala. Now he's in traffic division in Manhattan, and he controls everything over Telesford.
Okay.
But the
So that
man-
he's familiar, well, if he's familiar with the precinct, then it would be.
no, he's on the precinct. He controls traffic totally.
No, no, I'm saying what I meant was if he's familiar with the area, then he would be, you know, as higher up as we can go. Is what.
This is how you gonna get unless you go to the chief himself.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would say that you make the suggestion to the chair.
Warby, Inspector Warby.
Okay, so I would say that you make the suggestion to the chair, and then the chair would decide how he wants
Yes.
to move the situation. He might not want to go that high. He might. So then I would say make the suggestion to the chair, and he could follow up from there.
Okay, I talk to him all the time.
No, I'm talking about Chair Cormina.
Mm-hmm. What's your comment? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
You listening? Don't speak up, young man. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. Definitely move forward on it. As soon as I think just send me an email with all your ideas, and because you have a lot of good ones, and I can start reaching out to the appropriate people to make it happen.
Yeah, but Moses will show you. She sets up the appointments.
All right. Something in the chat. Let me see what this says. 67th precinct now has a dedicated traffic officer for our community. Okay, that's good. I know. I'll reach out to find out who that person is.
It's one person, and I'm gonna tell you right now, most of them don't know how to write their summonses. I'm telling you the truth. You want the trucks written, really written? Traffic. They're trained to do it. They have a traffic division. They mostly do moving violations, like red lights, seat belts, things like that. Double parkers. But when it comes to those trucks, very few of them know how to write those summonses. They're trained for criminal law, not really traffic law. In the academy, police officers get about maybe an hour or two in traffic violations. That's it. They tell them to go out and learn on your own. If you want to know anything, ask traffic. When you go to traffic academy, the NYPD section, all you learn is vehicle violations on trucks, the detached trailers, everything. And in fact, I'm going to tell you, I do those detached trailers. They don't know how. I have to teach you that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
I know the meeting is. I know the meeting is technically over since we adjourned it, but I do want to mention something that Mr. Daly brought up, and I completely forgot that
Yeah.
a couple of people on the block had mentioned it, asked me about it. It was regarding the alternate side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
That I know a couple of years back we had voted on, we didn't want it, but a couple of people had come and asked me if they could go back to when it was during the pandemic, instead of having it 4 days a week, if it goes back to what it was before August 5th. Before a year before August 5th. Okay, so basically they want 2 days a week instead of the 4 days a week, and once Mr. Daly brought it up, I remember that 3 people on my block asked me about it.
That's the situation.
We'll make a big list.
Yeah.
the DOT.
Yeah, that's right. Like the
Mr.
commissioner was saying, because she's the one that we ordered everything back in the plates, I understand. But that's when we got the word to traffic.
Mm-hmm.
It came down from the commissioner's office. Her name is Miss Tish. She's the one that ordered everything back into effect. And also I heard, I don't know if you heard this, Rudy, they're planning on putting cameras in their sweepers.
Put them where?
In the broom, the sweepers, when
Mm.
they sweep, you don't move, or you're sitting in there waiting,
Yeah.
you're gonna get written.
That's actually illegal.
I don't know. They said they're gonna do it.
No, well, it's illegal because for example, I have a permit that tells me I can park there. So how are they? How are they?
No. Your permit is listed to your plate. When you have a permit for SPI that sits on the
Yes.
door, say they take a camera and they come behind you, it's going to show up in the system, the computer itself. Because I know this for a fact. It's going to say permit listed. It won't send you one.
Okay.
SPI.
Interesting.
I do this, so I know. And by the way, they already put some of it in the computer system already.
Okay.
Oh, this about you don't know.
Mm.
I'll give you the inside issue. They ordered the commissioner of
There's
sanitation.
always a great source of information.
The fact. I'm gonna tell them the truth. If you're sitting in that car and between the times listed, they no longer, they let the community know, they no longer go by a courtesy that they used to give that if you sit in the car, they leave you alone. Now you're sitting in the car, you're gonna get written in that car. Between the times issued for the sign. We don't no longer go by a courtesy that was used, so they got rid of it. The commissioner of sanitation ordered it removed. She said if they don't move that car and they're sitting in there, write them. Yes, she did. I'm not lying. Yes, she did.
Do we have a hand raised? Really
Unless
quickly,
she's
Ms. Bennett. See, Hazel, I can't see the last name, but Hazel, I see you have your hand raised.
Yes, Martinez, Hazel Martinez. I would like your email address because I have a list of transportation complaints, some from last year that have been unresolved.
I will share it in the chat right now.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. If there's one I'm sharing, feel free to anytime just send out. What I think I'll do once sometime this week, once I get a few emails in, I see what we have, I'll start a Google document where we can actually keep track of it in real time and add to the list and move forward that way it can constantly be updated. Okay, I think we got a lot of good points, a lot of good information, a good start for this session. Like I said earlier, I'm definitely looking forward for everyone's input and moving things forward, and just addressing everything, finding out what needs to be done, and really targeting issues that have been plaguing our community. I think it's important that we hold these agencies accountable, and
correct.
instead of just getting a lot of blanketed responses, really get some real action. So thank you, Chairman Daly, for being here and giving your insight from this last session and assisting. And I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight and giving their input and being productive members of this committee and staying dedicated.
Yes.
Say it again.
Knowledge is information, and knowledge is power.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. All right, and I will see you all next week.
The motion was on the floor for adjournment, but it wasn't voted on.
All right. You're right. We still have a motion on the floor. I believe that motion was seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The
Aye.
meeting is
Aye.
adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone have a good night.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
When you have my number. Mr. Palmer,
Yes, ma'am.
you have my number, right?
I do not.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good night. I'll give you a number, just in case.